get a chance to watch T.O.'s last fight, man?
Yes.
Give a grade for it?
Wasn't his best performance, but the other guy had something to do with that. That dude can fight. He can move. That's what you call being able to punch on the move. See how difficult that was for T.O.? So don't people think that that's an insult. That's hard to deal with. He's a true stick and mover, you know. So what's his name?
Sandor Martin.
Yes, Sandor Martin. That guy could fight, man. He really know what he's doing. Whoever taught him how to fight know what they're doing. He can move both ways. He can punch off the move. He throw the kind of moves. He throw the kind of punches that's real hard to counter. You know what I mean? Teofimo Lopez, that's tough matchmaking. I'm not saying Top Rank did anything wrong because I think his opponent fell out. So they had to do what they had to do to find the guy. But that's a hard fight for him. Teofimo Lopez really not a pressure fighter. What he is a boxer puncher that's really explosive. He could just punch, but he's not a guy that really cut the ring off and wear guys out and knock them out. Remember the tall guy that he fought, how much trouble he had with him?
Nakatani.
Yeah, people don't realize that. So that's a tough style for him to deal with. On top of that, he lost. He was knocked down versus George Kambosos, and then George Kambosos has been beat 2 times by Devin Haney. So what that does is that kind of attacks a fighter's confidence a little bit because one of your rivals just outclassed the guy that you fought. So he's probably going through some confidence issues right now. And unfortunately, when you go through confidence issues as a boxer, the whole world get to see. But I still think Teofimo Lopez has a future. He just got to just find his way back. Sometimes you lose your way, and he got to find his way back, and he got to figure out what that is.
Well, you're talking about he have to find his way, but it might be a little bit difficult because right now he's next in line to fight Regis. I don't know if that's the right guy if you want to find your way. But, you know, if he was to say, hey, you know, I'm going to take that fight, do you think it makes sense? And who would you favor in that?
I would favor Regis, but I'm not telling no guy not to fight. Because guess what? Benavidez is going to be the favorite versus Caleb. That's part of the game. You take fights as the favorite, you take fights as the underdog. He want to be champion and he want to get his status back, then that's who he got to fight. I would favor Regis right now based on their current form, but I'm not God. I can't say Teofimo can't beat him. You know, Regis is a good fighter, but an excellent fighter, but anybody could lose. It's going to be a tough fight right now, but this is what boxing is. You know, let's see what he's made of, and let's see. Boxing is more than just talent. It's willpower. It's your ability to overcome obstacles. It's your ability to block out what everybody else is saying. It's your ability to have determination and go for a goal that you don't really see in front of you, but you got to go past so much to get there. It's more than just who can throw a right hand and a left hook and who's fast and who can punch. Teofimo got the physical stuff, but now we got to see what his character is like. So if he got it, more power to the young man. Let's see him go for it.
Well, of course you're going to give him a chance, but, you know, a lot of people are kind of overlooking Hector Garcia against Tank. They're just like, hey, you know, Tank's going to take care of him, move on to Ryan Garcia. I don't want to say you view it like that, but are you kind of the mindset where you're like, Tank is probably going to knock him out?
My favorite Tank in the fight, but it's still a fight. Gotta understand something. I didn't took a lot of fights as an underdog. So you gotta have a certain kind of optimism and self-esteem when your guy is taking a fight. Hector Garcia is coming off of a big victory over
Chris Colbert.
Kid from New York, yeah. And he got a hot trainer right now, Bob Santos. So I'm sure, and he's an Olympian, you know, he got pedigree. I think he's probably a little too small for Tank, a little too straight up in the air, but it's a fight. Let's see what happens.
How does it go down in your mind?
I think Tank clipping.
Got
I think
it.
Tank gonna clip him between 6 and 8. Gervonta Davis is one of the best fighters in the world, whether y'all guys know it or not. He's a great fighter. You know, he might not have the kind of, you know, matchmaking that everybody wanna like have as far as like he's not fighting to be a great fighter. Like the public, he might not be taking the fights that the public want to see him take. I'm just talking about just straight ability. I'm not getting into all of that because it's the business side of it, and it's a business and it's a sport. I'm talking about just your straight ability. It's not 10 better fighters in the world than him.
Is his boxing skills underrated?
Yes, everything is underrated. His jab is underrated. Everybody say he's all left hand. His right hand is underrated. His poise is underrated. His condition is underrated. His chin is underrated. That boy can fight. He can go. Unfortunately, he hasn't been in with the A-level guys of his talent level, so we haven't seen it against them. But man, he's one of the few dudes that if I had a lightweight right now, well, I do, Zachary Ochoa. But like, that's the guy you don't want to fight. You know, a lot of them other guys outbox you. He put you in a body bag, man. He can hurt you. He's a very explosive fighter, man. He's mean and he hurts you, try to finish you with the boxing skills on top of that. And he got conditioning. You don't really see him run out of gas.
Never.
I mean, I'm telling you, man, that boy could fight. Like, people criticize him, but the only thing you could probably criticize is, like, he may not have fought the Haney's and the Shakurs and those kind of guys. You know, I know they were a different promotional company. I don't want to get into that. But just in terms of ability, man, like, it's 3 fighters that move the needle with their ability. And I'm not talking about impress you as far as like shutting guys out in fights. I'm talking about 3 fighters in boxing that they give you the athleticism, they give you the talent, and they give you, and after they outbox you, they give you the brutality and the violence of it. You know who that is? Jaron Ennis, right?
Tank,
Monster Enal, and Tank Davis. Those are the 3 guys that combine their violence with that freaky talent. A lot of dudes is talented, right? And then they don't take chances. They just go ahead and win a decision, right? And then there's a lot of guys that's punchers, like let's say a beater Bev, but they don't have that off the chart talent where you look at them and be like, oh my God, it's like a freak talent. Those 3 guys got both. Tank's a special dude, man. He can fight.